And what about dating?
What about dating?
I don't know. Talk to me about dating as a business owner when you don't have a lot of time and
Why are you laughing, Jerry? Hello, welcome to the third episode of Let's Talk BS. We are back here with our co-host, Monique.
Hello.
I should just call you Mon.
Yeah.
Because that's all I've ever called you.
You know what I love though, that you call me Monique. You really accentuate
It's just because I don't know how to say it.
No, that's perfect. That's
Monique.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I mean
Monique.
Either one.
Was I saying Monique?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, you like it?
That's what the Americans say. They
Oh,
say
really?
Monique. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well,
Yeah.
Mon's here to join us. Hi, Mon.
Hi, Jane.
Welcome to, I guess this is the first proper filming episode
2024.
of 2024.
Yeah. Feels like I feel like we're halfway into the year already. Like it's been
I'm tired.
3 weeks.
I'm tired.
Literally, I feel like we've achieved so much in such a small amount of time.
Yeah. Mon and I are in a silly, goofy mood.
We are.
So
a little impromptu episode.
This is so we don't know where this episode is gonna go.
Who knows?
I don't know. We'll just talk BS, I guess.
Yeah, literally.
Let's talk BS today. So I'm
love
gonna
it.
let Mon lead.
Well, I do
today.
have a question. That
I hope so.
yeah, this one I want to take it right back to Jane, like 7 years ago.
We knew each other then.
We did know each other,
Okay.
and that's like when we really first met.
Okay, maybe tell everyone how we met first.
Okay, so we met. I don't know if I remember. No, I do remember the exact
remember the
day.
exact moment I met
remember
you.
the moment. That's so cute. You were we were at Little by Little, which is
It's a
where we
cafe,
worked, a
yeah.
cafe that we worked together. And you were sitting, as you like walk in the cafe, you were like sitting at the high table.
No, that wasn't.
No, what? That wasn't the first
no,
time?
you're lying.
What? No, that was
Okay,
the first
keep
time.
talking and
That
I'll
was
tell
your
you my
interview.
memory. Wait, I met you at my interview?
Yeah.
So I didn't
I didn't actually meet you. I just saw you.
You just saw me.
Yeah.
I remember the time that I met you.
Okay,
I didn't
okay.
know that you saw me.
I saw you. I don't know if I came in for a coffee, maybe.
Maybe. But I remember
And then
sitting
you
up
did
there.
your trial.
I remember sitting up on the high stool
For
and
your
I was
interview,
wearing
right?
like knee-high black boots
Oh wow.
with heels.
Oh wow. Ooh.
I don't know.
Jane, nothing. Not much has changed.
I know, that's true. Sorry.
Still extra.
So you
But-
saw me come in and
I
like
did.
talk. I think I talked to Brent because I was giving him
Yes.
my resume.
Yeah.
Wow, me applying for jobs.
Yeah.
I haven't applied for a job
Hospitality.
since.
Yeah. What was your interpretation of when we met?
I remember when I did my trial.
Yeah.
And you weren't working. You came in for a
Yes,
that's
that's right.
And,
And you
you
were
stood by the
steaming milk.
coffee machine, and then you were so nice. You're like,
Oh,
that looks so
thanks.
beautiful, and I was like, oh, I like her.
Oh wow.
So I was really
I
excited.
remember that too.
I was really excited that I met you before like I officially started working there.
Yeah. But then you started working there and you showed promise very quickly. They liked you very quickly. And
I
then
mean, the owners did.
the owners, yeah.
Not the other staff. But why? I don't think I was like rude or anything like that.
No, not by any means. No.
I get bullied a lot. Well, I got bullied a lot.
But you became the manager. Like, how quick was it before? Because I don't think I'd worked that many shifts with you, and I didn't.
Really?
And I don't think I saw. I mean, in hospitality, I feel like you see people's initiative very quickly, and I think that's like it's really good for work ethic because you have to multitask and you have to you have to take initiative.
Under
you can't
pressure,
just like
you're under
stand
pressure.
there. Yeah, that's it. And I hadn't worked with you much, so I remember when you became the manager, it's not that I was like. Not by any means was I like, oh, why does she deserve it? I was like so chill. I was like, whatever, I don't care. I don't want him the manager. Someone's got to do it. But I definitely hadn't seen that in you yet.
Yeah.
And then you became the manager and I was like, oh, of course. Like, that makes sense, you know?
Thanks.
But up until that point, I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
I feel like you were the only person I properly clicked with
Yeah.
during my time there.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because we've been friends the past 7 years.
Yeah.
Like outside of work, we clicked as
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
So that was our first memory,
Yeah.
7 years together.
And you started, I feel like that was when you first started in social media as well. Was you started with the Little by Little page.
So I was doing it my previous
Oh,
job
yeah,
already.
that's
I
right.
was doing
You
it
were,
way
you were,
before,
true.
like at
Yeah.
Trey and all the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
cafes that I was working at
True.
and surrounding cafes
So-
in Glen Waverley.
How old were you then when you started that?
I think I was 18, 19.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I feel like that was like the height of cafe culture in Melbourne as well.
Yeah, that
I
was
think
like
it's
2015.
definitely, it's like gone way down
The Melbourne
now.
brunch
That was like
the thing.
the avocado toast, the inception of avocado toast. Like you were the at the beginning of that.
So I had been like doing like all of this stuff, but I just didn't realize what I was doing. I was just doing
Yeah.
it. Like I had no name for it. Like I didn't know. You want me to take a photo? Sure.
Yeah.
You want me to run your socials? Sure. Like I just did
Yeah.
it, but I didn't realize how much that makes sense now.
Yeah. And then, so after that, I can't remember where, I think, where's after that? Because I remember I went to a different workplace. You were still working at Little by Little maybe. And then we went to another cafe together. And Pakenham, that was the beginning of, we were just talking about Flow and Arrow, right?
Was it? Oh my
I
god,
think
it
that was
was.
Flow and Arrow. And
So
that was
before like my
protein
other
balls.
Okay, so one wants to talk about the businesses that
I want you to walk us through how we got to this point.
Okay.
You know, all the failures. I want to hear about your failures.
Okay.
Well, not failures, redirections.
Redirections.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of business ideas. I don't know. I think I was just like, I knew there was more than like this. So I started doing random. I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh,
So there was Float and Arrow. I don't know what it was. I was trying to sell everything.
Yeah. You just.
I even like got a business name. Like I paid for a business name. I got an ABN.
Did you have to get for the protein balls? Did you have to get food
I'm
safety?
sure I did, but I didn't. I'm
Okay.
sure I had to, but I
But
don't
you didn't
think-
do it.
Like
Yeah.
the certifications. Is that what it is?
I remember getting in trouble when we worked at Pakenham.
What do you mean?
I got in trouble by our bosses at the time because someone came in and they wanted to buy bulk of the protein balls. And I told them to go to buy them from you personally because I was like, why would you buy them at retail? Like, why would you buy this ball that costs like $3 per ball, right? Maybe $4 even. Why would you do that when you could buy like 20 for, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So
I
you
was
told
like
them to
on
go
the
straight
sly,
to me?
yeah. I was like,
Wait,
on
how
the
did they
sly.
find out?
I have no idea. I think another customer overheard or like, I don't know. And then they literally sat me down to say like, you can't.
You never told me this.
Really?
Wait,
I
was
can't
this?
believe it. Yeah. They literally sat me down and they were like, you can't be selling someone else's business. And I was like,
This is a real friend, everybody.
I was not afraid to lose this job. So I was like, I don't care. They're not going to buy like 20 protein balls from, that's ridiculous. I was like, now I come like, oh, I kind of understand why they were annoyed. But I was like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just didn't care. I was not loyal.
Yeah, I know. I know. That was a bad time.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a protein ball business. I don't know
They
why
were
I called it
delicious.
Flow and Arrow. Thank
Yeah.
you. And I remember going to like different cafes and like trying to sell it.
Yes.
I went to like Populous.
Didn't
and,
you
like,
have them at,
I had them at Populous and I had them at Little by Little as well.
did you
For
really?
some time.
I didn't know that.
But then it was just like so much work.
I bet.
And like the cost was just so much.
Did you have like, now I know with your business you have like a vision, right? Like you actually have, not to say an end goal, but you know where the business is going. When you started that, did you think these balls are going to be in like every store in Victoria, or like
I
you were just
couldn't
like
see past the week after.
you were just like throwing stuff to the wall and like seeing if it would stick?
I think I just wanted to start something.
Yeah.
But I had no purpose for it.
You had the like itch.
I just
You
knew I had this business entrepreneur side of me and I wanted to explore that, whatever it was.
Yeah, but you know, like when we talk to like people we know who are successful, they'll say like, I tried 10 businesses before I actually found one that is successful.
Yeah.
And they've made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I feel
so
like
normal.
it's very rare to like actually just start a business and it to succeed.
Yeah. So that was I can't remember if that one was the first one or there was my cake business. I think at the same time.
They were, I can't remember either.
So one was in my life when I also started a cake.
Yeah.
cake business. They were actually quite pretty.
They were. Like, how did you learn that?
I would spend like on one
So
cake, I
much
would spend
time.
like bloody like 8 hours on them, like day and night, because you have to like cool it. And then I realized I didn't have the equipment for it, so I would go out and buy the equipment. I would source the flowers. I would wait for the bloody cake to dry before I could ice them. And then I didn't know how to make icing, so everything was like trial and error.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Why
cakes? Like, why
mess.
did you?
Why you know cakes? How that came about?
How?
It was for one of my mum's birthday parties, and I wanted to like cook for that party, and I did everything, and I made the cake, and the cake was beautiful, and then all the guests
You're like,
were
you're having a business.
all the guests were like, where did you order this cake from? It's so like beautiful, because it had like florals, and you know when naked cakes were a thing, and they had like florals and stuff. So I did that.
Beautiful.
And everyone was like complimenting, and I was like,
I could do this. I am a cake queen.
And I paid for like graphics, like my friend did the logos. I paid for business name. I didn't even know what GST was, and I paid for GST.
You registered for GST.
I registered for GST.
I love that. You were so optimistic. You were like, I'm going to make $75,000 in cakes in my first
I didn't
year.
know that I had to earn $75,000 to apply for GST.
Okay, you just...
I just thought I had to do it because I was starting a business.
Why?
I paid for the name and all that.
Wow.
Lots of wasted money. It didn't last.
You know what? You
Low
paid for
profit
lessons. Margin. You paid for lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's my first few businesses in my early 20s.
And then I feel like that was it. So you had that, Flow and Arrow, Lacey and Jane, which Lacey is your cat's name. Let's just say that, shall we?
It's cute.
It is cute. Yeah. I love it. Lacey is so cute. And then after that was that Jane Collective. So that's when like, I feel like Blanc Studio and Jane Collective is like kind of interchangeable. It's just like the natural progression of...
You know what's funny? Something that I have observed, like although all those like little side gigs and side hustles failed, a couple of things stand out in that whole process is I've always been really good at marketing them like online.
This is so true.
So I was always really good at like taking the photos and then putting them on the feed and making them look really pretty and doing like the branding for it. But I just didn't know enough and didn't have enough skill and experience to like keep the business going.
Yeah. How did you learn to do photography and like when? Because you've been doing that for so long, and I feel like you just picked up camera and were just like, this is a good photo. Like,
to be honest, I think it was when I was like managing those cafe businesses, and I knew that socials had to look good to attract more clients in, and I was like, you can't be having these shitty photos like on your socials. So I would start doing them myself because I like play with photography. Like my dad had like an old camera that I used to just like use and whatever, and then I think I just started using that. I didn't even know, like I remember literally with taking photos for little by little. I didn't even know what Dropbox was. I didn't know what Google Drive was. You know what I used to do? I would create a private Facebook album, upload them on Facebook so that I could...
Wow. Are they still available? Do you still have them?
Yes! They're on private on Facebook.
Wow.
You can see like thousands of photos that I uploaded on Facebook. Yeah, wow, times have changed.
Wow. You've really progressed.
Yeah, so then I just kept doing food photography. That was like my niche. That's what I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed like food styling. When I was like doing the protein balls and the cakes, like that involves a little bit of food styling as well. And then it makes sense in hospo, like I was taking food photos. So that's how photography started for me.
Yeah, wow. That's cool. Speaking of social media, you've been off social media. I think you're on it now, right?
Yes.
But you was it over Christmas? You took a bit of time off?
Yes.
And what was that like? Because I feel like you're very active on social media.
I am
comparatively to me. But like...
Oh my god, remember when you were active on social media for like a few years?
5 minutes. Oh really?
For a few years there. Like with me, we were trying to be active, but then...
We were.
Suddenly, I think you're just like, no, I'm not doing
it. I can't. I'm too lazy for that.
So I took a little bit of a social media break over Christmas, which is, I've not done that I can't remember the last time I did that because obviously our industry, you have to be on socials and Instagram. So I found it really hard to like switch off and not be on socials. But I did over Christmas and New Year. I think I did it for like 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, best thing.
Yeah. I know when you first started talking, because you spoke about this before you did the detox, and you said I want you to like reiterate this, because you said that you found yourself, I don't know if I'm saying too much about like how you felt, but like you felt like you were at times wanting to like prove your happiness.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it stems back from like childhood trauma and like proving to, I guess, okay, this is gonna be a little deep, just to preface to all of you.
Dive in.
Like, a lot of my younger life has always been trying to prove to my parents that even though, especially in my early 20s, even though I hadn't gone like the normal direction of like going to uni, going to school, I always felt like I had to prove myself to them that I will be successful and that I will be fine in my life. And I think that just naturally translated into the way that I would present myself to people. I think it's always like having to showcase everything that I do to let people know that I'm happy. And then when I was having that conversation with you, I kind of realized, oh, like, I actually am happy. Why do I need to share it all the time?
Yeah, and I think that's so nice. Like that realization of you don't need the validation. You feel that happiness within yourself. That's so cool.
You know, when I'm being silly and like dancing on my stories and stuff like that, like, why am I doing that? Why? I still did it yesterday, but why? But why? Who needs to know that I'm like happy?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I am happy, and without socials, I kind of realized how much I actually love my life, and I don't need to be sharing it all the time.
And do you feel like that's where you can like authentically show up and be like, well, if I'm posting it, it's not to show people that I'm happy, but like it's just like, it's almost like encouraging for other people rather than being like, I'm doing it for my own validation and more doing it for like to put something positive out into.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a good realization where I'm like, am I trying to prove to myself that I'm happy by showing people that I'm happy? And I think that lesson was like, no, you actually love your life.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
I want to know this because I set this goal at the end of last year that this is like, I feel like when I go into each year, I don't know if you do this, but like I set kind of like, not a theme, but maybe something that I'm working through that year, something that I want to like break through my own barrier or something, whatever it is. For me, it's get over the fear of being seen and like not be afraid to like...
So vulnerability.
Yeah, not be afraid to like be in the spotlight or not be afraid to like have people like see me. Because for me...
You're doing very well being in front of camera and on the podcast and talking.
But like for me, that's why I think that's, if I really dig deep, that's why I don't like social media. Because I'm like, then I'm like open to criticism. Like,
that's
do you know what I mean? So have you ever gone through that? Do you ever feel like you wouldn't want to share because you don't want to know what people think?
Yes, and I feel that now a lot. I feel like at the beginning of my business journey, I would overshare everything and like tell them, oh, here we go. Lacey, the other part of Lacey and Jane has come to destruct. Where will we go with this conversation? Yeah, I felt like at the beginning of my business journey, I wanted to show everyone what's happening, you know, sharing. And I feel like the more I know now and the more, you know, success or growth that I've had, I feel a bit more protective and I'm not as open. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I just don't want people to think that because I'm in like a different stage in my life that they can have access to that. Well, I'm not articulating myself well, but I'm trying to say that I don't want people to think that because I'm where I'm at, that they have, you know, the ability to just like come and take advantage of that kind of thing.
Okay.
Because I've had those experiences in the past where, actually, I'm not gonna name and shame anyone, but like some certain people where they would, you know, use my name. Oh, I have a friend who's this, when in reality, we're not friends. We have no relationship. You have not had a conversation with me about my personal life. Don't call me your friend.
Wow.
Yeah, I've actually had people like that. So it's just like understanding and like having boundaries within myself of what to put out there and being careful of that kind of energy.
But that's more on the a self-preservation thing rather than like a fear.
Yeah, I don't
thing,
think I think I've gotten really comfortable compared to a couple of years ago. I would have the same fears of like, what's my family gonna think? My brother's gonna talk shit about me again, like to the family. Like, what's even my old bosses? I know they're gonna talk crap about me online, seeing what I'm doing online. What my co-workers gonna talk about me. You know, I did have those fears, but now it's just honestly, if I kept myself from doing what I'm doing because of those fears, I wouldn't have the business that I have now.
Yeah.
Because I gained a lot of my traction by doing what I'm doing in my personal branding.
Yeah.
So really,
I think Andy and I were talking about this yesterday because like with him being so much more active on social media, like he does worry, like what are other people going to say? Like, are they going to get annoyed at me posting 4 times a day? But then also the other thing is like randoms, especially on TikTok. TikTok is savage. I don't know
Really?
if oh my goodness. Creators say all the time, like Instagram is just a place where like people are like for the most part quite lovely.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about TikTok, but people think they can just scroll on by and they can write like you're terrible, you're ugly, you're whatever. Like people just have absolutely feel so free to share their opinions.
yeah, I noticed that
Yeah.
when I'm looking through other people's comments.
Yeah,
Actually,
they're savage. Like I'll read through comments. It's very entertaining. But like what we were saying is like that person, it's very easy to get offended by it. But at the same time, think about what that person is doing. That person is scrolling social media.
Yeah.
They've decided like, I didn't like that. I'm actually going to like comment on this person's page to say something negative. Like honestly, if that's your behavior on a daily basis, that's what you're putting out into the world, I can't be offended by you because that's not the behavior of like a kind, caring person that I respect.
Yeah.
It's a behavior of a person I don't want to engage with.
Yeah.
So why do we care about their opinion?
Exactly. Well, thankfully, I haven't had those
That's so good.
experiences really.
Yeah.
Has Andy?
He's had a little bit. It really depends because like, for example, like I remember I had a video that went viral on TikTok. I think it went to like 250,000 people. And it was for the most part, I would say like 80% positive. Yeah. But then you get those people who just like, they'll take one thing you say and they'll like, I remember the premise of it was like that I'd helped my husband like improve his posture or something. Mm-hmm. And people would say like the audacity of this woman to think that she did this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I said one thing in the whole video and they twist it and make it like something it's not.
That's horrible.
So people would take like a 5-second sound bite and they'll completely take it the wrong way.
Yeah, nah.
So it's like your opinion doesn't really matter to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I started stopping like caring about what other people, and I think when I made that switch a couple of years ago, like 2 years ago,
do you think you're happier?
Happier, but also like more growth because now I just don't give a shit and like I'll just post whatever I want, and then people who actually resonate with what I have to say are like my clients.
Yeah, and more often than not, you will have people resonate.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunately the negativity can be at times louder.
Yeah, for sure.
Or the people who are positive might not necessarily comment.
Yeah.
But also like if you're engaging with someone's stuff, you're pushing it up in the algorithm anyway. So
exactly. So thank you.
Yeah, thank
not that
you.
I've had many haters. I don't have haters.
There's not.
But
like
I never really like struggled with like any backlash or anything. I think
so
it's
good.
more from like fear of what my old bosses would say.
People actually in your life rather than like strangers on the internet.
But they're irrelevant now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And that's the thing, as you like keep like climbing and getting more into the place you actually like, the place you want to be in your life.
Yeah.
And create more distance between those people who just wanted to drag you down.
Yeah.
Like you just further and further away from them.
Yeah.
You create more distance.
Exactly.
So
it doesn't matter.
it's fine. Yeah. Man, I feel like we've like talked about everything that's not on our on our list of stuff to talk about. But how old are you now? How old are you?
I'm turning 28 this year.
Are you really?
I'm turning 28.
Okay.
Mon, that's like nearly 30.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I'm still 22.
I feel like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that. It's nice. But so you're turning 28. Whoa. I would say you have a really, really, when I look on social media, I look at like your friend group and I'm like, damn, like you have such a positive, like empowering group of women around you. How did you find that?
How did I find them?
Yeah. How did you?
I think it's, it's funny. We were just talking about social media and like fear of like putting yourself out there. With me putting myself out there, it's attracted those people.
Really?
Online.
So you've met them on social media?
Majority of my girlfriends now, like my tight-knit girlfriends, most of them we've had each other on social media before like we actually met them. And we were, always responding to each other because we resonate with each other and we're aligned with each other and always like strangers just encouraging each other online.
Wow.
So a lot of my friends
nice.
I've met through online and eventually mutual friends, like we know each other and like we just meet through projects and stuff. But yeah, that's one of the positive things that Instagram has like done for me is I've actually made a lot of my good friends from there and like business friends. Yeah.
Cool. So tell me about your dating life.
What do you want to know about my dating life, Mon?
Give me the tea. How do you date? How do you meet people? How do you? I don't know. I don't know how people date anymore. And like,
well, it's a bit difficult because I work 12 to 14-hour days and I work at home most of the time if I'm not on site. So I'm currently not on the apps.
Oh, really?
I'm never going back on the app.
No way.
I'm never. If any of you ever catch me going on the app, please just like hit me in the head.
Wow, why?
Because I'm traumatized.
Okay. So
I just haven't had good experience from the dating app. I think it's
from the app or all of the apps. Like,
I've
give me a
only
rundown of
ever
the
used
apps.
Hinge.
Really?
And I have been like, every time I go on it, I hate it.
Okay. Yeah.
So I have I don't love it. I have a hate relationship with it. But I don't do it anymore. But like in the last maybe 2 years, I would maybe like go on it once every 6 months or something.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Talk to some people, get reminded that
you hate it.
I hate it. And then I'll leave and then, go to dates here and there. But I don't know. It's a struggle for me.
Now you're just doing it old school.
Yeah, and we'll see how that goes.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh. How
Old
do you
school,
meet people when you don't work in hospitality?
Organic dating?
Yeah. Wow. So you just like go to a bar and like, I don't know.
I don't even go to bars.
No.
How do I meet people? I don't know. I can't give you any dating advice. Sorry, you've come to the wrong podcast.
This is not a relationship podcast.
It's hard as a business owner.
Yeah.
Though, and I feel like in dating, especially like last year, I've had a few experiences in dating. Every dating experience is just like a lesson. It's just a reminder that I need to just still have a lot of lessons within myself. I know I need to be more vulnerable, and I have been working on my vulnerability and being open to connection. And it's just, I find it really difficult to connect with people on the level that I need to be connected with. And then there's another layer of like being a business owner. Like I would say my most recent like dating experience, I don't know, I felt like every time I date or I'm interested in someone, I lose myself a little bit or I get distracted and therefore I'm not being my best self in my business. And I hate that, like, because I know what I can do and I know what I can be within my business. And then if someone new comes along, I'm interested in them, I get distracted. Yeah. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's gonna happen organically. Like I feel like I think anytime you're like, you don't necessarily have to be like going out to bars and like being on dating apps and stuff like that. But I think it's truly like, I actually listened to this on the Skinny Confidential the other day. I was listening to a podcast and it was what's his name? Michael Bosstick was saying like, when I go out, like I'll be in a line at a cafe, right? And no one will talk to me because I do not have like date me energy. But like their friends will go to a cafe and it'll be like so social and they'll like talk
How do they do
to
that?
people.
Can someone
it's
teach
like
me?
I think it's an energy. I think it's just like you just like emit an energy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm sounding so negative about dating. I'm not closed off to dating.
No.
I definitely...
But you're not active. Like, you're not like going out on dates every
I'm
week
not
to like
looking-
find your person.
I'm Rihanna. I'm not looking for a man.
Yeah. The man's is looking for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And right now, because I know what I'm like when I'm dating, and it's distracted.
Yeah,
Dating
right.
equals distraction to me.
Yeah.
And I have really big goals for this year. So that's why at this stage of my life, I'm like, not even...
Yeah.
Trying
the
to
apps are
find a
just a
man.
distraction too.
And the
Like,
app is
they
just so
that notification.
dehumanizing.
Yeah, right.
I find it so dehumanizing. Like, what do
Wow.
Like,
yeah, it's true.
I've met guys from the app that I'm like, you're so much more than who you are on the app.
Yeah, right.
And I just think that's so dehumanizing to me to be like, get scrolled
Yeah,
on or like
true.
based on what I look like.
And you literally cannot read someone's energy from an app. Like,
yeah, and I'm
all
such
these-
it's
yeah.
like such an energy exchange, and
Yeah.
I'm all about like vibes and like energy when it comes to the other
Yeah.
person and charisma. You
And
know?
I always think someone's so much more attractive when you, like when someone's kind, when they're like chivalrous, when they're just, all like masculine, you're gonna look at them and be like, they're so much more beautiful or attractive than when you just see them reduced to like a few words and a few photos.
Yeah,
Like that's
exactly.
Yeah.
We'll talk about like masculinity and feminine energy when it comes to like work, business, and then dating.
Yeah.
I find that I used to be so masculine, like in my dating
Yes
life.
and no, because like it's so interesting because like I think you look very feminine, you dress very feminine, you like are feminine, but I think because you're so used to, even like you were a manager for so long,
Yeah.
you're like such a leader that is always translated like,
Yeah, but I don't want to be like
Yeah.
that in my dating life.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like you're
I want to
learning.
be a baby girl.
You want to be a queen.
I am a princess.
You are a
I
queen,
was
but
born
like,
this way.
you are a princess.
But I just have to I just have to be aware of that. Like when
Yeah.
I'm dating,
Yeah.
I can't be this person who's like in charge all the
Yeah.
time.
I feel like in your last like dating experience, you really embodied that.
I feel like I did too.
Yeah.
And that was the first time where I just kind of let it happen.
Yeah, which I think yes, it didn't work out, but you learned that lesson.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just, I don't know, like dating, every time I'm dating and it doesn't work out with that person, it just brings me so much closer to myself, like that relationship with myself and understanding what I need what I appreciate from another person that is aligned with like my lifestyle and like my goals moving forward. So I learned a lot from like my dating experiences last year and just like what kind of man I would want as a partner.
Yeah, yeah.
From someone who's trying to like build.
Do you think you would prefer to have like another business owner who
Yes.
can like
I think so.
so they like really truly understand your
I feel like
process and
I need to have someone who's in business because they would understand the level of workload or like the responsibility, and I wouldn't need them to be on the same wavelength of ambition or more than me.
And I think ultimately that builds like, that will help like in the life you're building, having that person who's actually pushing you to go further is necessary.
I need that. I can't be the one pushing people all the time.
Yeah.
Like
And
in my
it's
dating.
magical to like build something with somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the tea on dating.
Yeah.
What else can I tell you about dating that I want to share with the world? Yeah, I need someone who is ambitious.
Yeah.
Who can lead, and I just need like a planner, like just
Yeah.
plan it for me, bro. Like
Yeah.
I'm organizing everything in my business. Like I have to be
Yeah.
on top of it all the time on my business.
You wanna come
like,
home and
in
it's,
my
like,
personal
planned.
life, I just want to like, whew,
You just want
just
to,
relax, you know.
kick back. be waited on.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I'm not going to reciprocate. Like,
Absolutely. Well,
I
that's
know
it.
how much love I can give to a person,
Yeah.
but I need to feel safe, and
Yeah.
I need to feel that sense of, I think safety and stability is one thing that's really
Yeah.
important for me.
Because it's not about being like an entitled woman who just like sits back and like lets your partner do everything.
No.
There is a reciprocation.
Yeah.
It's like you are returning something.
Yeah. That's what relationships
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
are. But yeah, that's what I need.
I think it's controversial now.
I want to switch the question because
Yeah.
you're dating. You're married to.
I was going to say, I don't even know about dating. I don't know.
You're married to a businessman.
Yes.
How is that like for you?
It's definitely been, look, so I would say right now his business is like relatively successful, and we're at a point now where it's like, I'm not like this every day. Like the first, like he's a bit like you, like he's had many,
Had a few.
he's had many goes at it, because I think he's got the same like mind as you and the same like desires. And in those first couple of years when it was like touch and go with money, man, like
Yeah, because you were with him when he was in real estate.
Yeah.
And the financial aspect of that was not very
incredibly
stable,
stressful.
right?
Yeah, like he would just get like $30,000 at one day, right? And that's like whoa. But
Then,
how
like-
long does that $30,000 have to last?
Yeah.
Like, and like we weren't married at this point, but like we did get married, and then it was the same. Like, and like sure, I had my income as well, but like we had a mortgage. Like we just had costs like normal adults. So from my perspective, like I think like, not to like big note myself or anything, but you do have to be a certain type of person to cope with it.
Yeah.
Like, you do have to understand that they are going to, like, they're going to work really long hours,
Yeah.
and they are going to stress as
Were
well.
there times where you kind of like was a bit resentful for that, or have you
Yeah,
always
for
understood?
sure. No, I will, like, absolutely, now that I have a kid as well, like, it's definitely like there are moments where I feel like, not to say that I feel like I'm working harder, but there are days when I'm like, I'm looking after this kid 24/7, like literally I'm with him almost 24/7. And like I'm working, I'm trying to work, I'm trying to look after the house, I'm trying to cook dinner, I'm trying to like, I feel like there are days when I'm like, I feel like I've done more than him, but that's not what it's about, really. And I'm trying to, it's like hard to
Let's
explain
not
because it's
cancel
like,
one.
yeah. But like, I know, but like, and it's like when I said in the last episode that I did with you when we were talking about how when you were hiring somebody, like I watched him go through that process of the first hire and how stressful that was, and like just then understanding like, okay, well that person has to get paid before we do. Like if,
Oh my God,
you know, like that,
feels.
that stress, and then you get the second staff member on, and then he eventually got the third, and it was like, we have 3 people relying on your income, and then it's
Yeah.
like I rely on that income. Like I'm a stay-at-home mum. Yes, I work, but like that's not paying the bills.
Yeah.
Like
That's
it's
a lot of
stressful.
pressure.
Yeah. All I can say is like it's stressful, but you just have to understand that person, like you're with that person for a reason. He has huge goals, and it's like I said, that it's magical to like be alongside somebody who's as ambitious as you, because
I feel like
that's,
you
like,
and Andy
really
are
beautiful.
have always been on the same page as to like
Yeah.
where you want to get to.
yeah.
And I think that's so integral
Yeah,
to
you
like,
have to be aligned.
yeah, especially like my last relationship, we were not like, we loved each other so much, and we broke up, we were still very much in love, and I haven't had that with another person.
Yeah.
And that was like 4 years, 5
Yeah.
oh my God, 5 years ago.
So long ago, wow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And that was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? And everything was fine. We were happy, but like we just didn't align in like what we wanted in the long term.
And you know what? It's so good that it ended then
I
and
know.
not in 3 years when it would have been so much harder.
I know.
Because not like nothing against him, but it would have held you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I feel like all that to say, like if you're in that relationship, communication and understanding that person's vision. Like you need to understand what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you'll be like, why are you working so hard? Why are you like not giving me attention at night? Why are you on your laptop every single night?
Yeah.
understand their vision, so you can actually like help feed into it and
Yeah.
like help. Even I'll say to him, like, he never lets me help him, but I'll say like, can I post on social media for you? Can I, when I had time, I said like, can I help do your books? Which honestly, it's lucky I didn't, because no one would get paid or anything. But yeah, like, know their vision. No clue.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like understand.
Yeah, it's really
vision.
good that you have that. I think just, I don't know, I haven't dated anyone who, like, seriously dated anyone who hasn't been a business owner.
Yeah.
I feel like I always just gravitate towards like business owners in general, because they just we automatically like just get it. So that's good, but I don't know, I just can't see myself not being a business owner. Is that bad?
Fair enough.
Like,
But
am
you
I
just
being
never
close-minded?
know. You just never know. Like,
Yeah, true.
who knows?
Who knows?
Who
Line
knows
up,
what's gonna
boys.
be? Yeah. We're taking applications.
No, we're not. Don't email the Blunt Studio email, please.
hello@blunkstudio.de.
Stop. We are not open. This
Or
is not a dating
you can
app.
also email me.
Oh yeah, go through one first, and then you can get through to me.
Yeah, and I'll just like anyone who's not
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So today we chatted about Jane, how she began in business in the first place, your first days as an entrepreneur, your social media detoxes,
Love it.
being seen on social media. We talked about dating
about
and friends,
friendships.
how to make friendships in your late 20s, and dating really rounded that out. So
Yeah, we could do a whole other episode on like dating. I
Yeah.
feel like that'd be tea.
Let us
Would be a
know.
lot of BS talking.
This was a bit of a BS episode, wasn't
This
it?
is
It was a
very
lot of BS.
impromptu BS episode. So enjoy that. But
Yeah.
thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode. We have a very special guest coming after this episode.
We do.
So we're excited to share that. And yeah, make sure to follow us on social media. Thank you, Mon,
Beautiful.
for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.